Welcome back to the top of the mountain, day number 3, and what we're going to be doing is going to be really cool. Good morning, and we're back on top of the mountain. We're on day number 3 now. Just look at how that sky's coming on. There hasn't actually been that much snow overnight, so there's not a lot of cleaning to do, which is great because it means we can get straight into sculpting. I think let's give everybody a little bit of a taste about the kind of things we'll be doing today.
Well, shall we go? It's all about sales today, so shall we go change the camera angle? So, guys, this is the hull of the boat. Went along nicely. Yesterday, we got the front of the sails on. Now, that front of those sails doesn't actually matter. What matters is where the mast is going to go, and the mast is going to go 2/3 into the sculpture, and then we're going to carve the sails out after that. But we were really chuffed yesterday to get the piece bashers to do the high work and to kick out the sides. Yeah, we did have a massive dig. We took out about 20 square meters of snow ourselves by hand, and we came back from having a potato dinner, cooked potatoes, sausages. The energy levels are off the scale. So I smashed it out, Mike pulled it out, and in 30 minutes, we must have shifted 20 square meters of snow. So, but we'd like to show you the top of the mast. Mine's what we show you some tools.
So what we've got here, we've got 2 of our tools that we use. We've got the saw. What kind of saw is this one again, Justin?
It's a kind of rusty one with an orange handle.
So these are just the standard kind of things you find in a garden shop or a garden centre or down at your local DIY shop. But we're looking for a saw here that's got large gaps between the teeth, which means that it'll go through the snow quite easily. Working with snow, it feels a little bit like working with polystyrene. It's got that same kind of feeling and texture. But as your saw blade goes through it, it kind of makes that little squeaky noise.
Putting this a bit of a square, which you'll see now. The back that I'm going to put in. So we wanted to get a bit of extra projection on top of the sculpture. Nice word, eh? You're going to have to sit up there. Oh, probably going to put a joint in that.
So this is one of the beauties of working with snow, is it is actually really, really durable. And while you can't necessarily stick large things together, you can actually stick things back on. So last year, sorry, not last year, back in 2020 when we did the Elton John, if you remember back to the live there, I kicked off one of the musical notes and we just stuck it back on afterwards using a little bit of water. And that sets overnight like becomes like ice. And we're going to do a very similar thing with the top of the mast here. Now, Justin's moving now to using a rasp. It's like a plaster scraper. So it's used for creating a rough edge before you put plaster back on. What we use it for here is actually to create a smooth edge. Some of the key things with this is not to constantly go in one singular direction all the time because it creates grooves. So what you'll see is that Justin's not only moving the rasp across the piece, he's also moving it around in small circles, which creates more of a smooth effect on the actual snow itself.
We're getting there. I feel like saying, can you tell what it is yet? Better not do that.
Yeah, better not do that.
So I've put the grooves in it, and now I'm just going to use my fingers on my hand. And it's nearly there, but it's looking a little bit too wide to me. So as I'm doing this, I'm visualizing how it's going to look on the top of the sculpture. I'm working out in my head exactly what size we need it, what shape it's going to be, how it's going to look from down on the ground, how you're going to perceive it. And that is, I'll go and show everybody. 1 second. And we've got, I'm showing the secret staircase.
The secret staircase, okay. Don't tell everybody.
Work off. Show everybody what.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is for the massive summer. You guys can visualize this. That is going to be the top of it. Straight down there. I dropped this morning to bang tidy line in that. Nice straight line. And from that straight line, we set the sculpture up with a nice triangle down to the boat. All coming up. Shape it up. Yeah. That's our job today, mate.
Yep.
Good birthday. Not like we're international or anything, is it?
It's not like it's a competition, absolutely not. So as Justin was just showing you there, that's doesn't take too long for small pieces, but now I've got to do this for the entire size of the sculpture, and this is a quite big job actually to do. So this is why it takes us so long. It takes like 4.5 days because we'll be going through and we'll be creating the sculpture, and we'll be having to make that absolutely fantastic finish against it. And that's one of the things we're trying to do this time, is try and make the finish even better. We've gone for a slightly smaller sculpture, but it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and we've gone big before, and it's not paid off. They've always said, go big, go massive, and we've kind of done it, but we've noticed that smaller sculptures can equally get good positions. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna like this one. It's I've always wanted to do a sailing boat, mate, and to have it gracing the slopes, touch wood, if we can make that happen, then
yeah,
I'll be chuffed.
And this is interesting because you say we're not going big this year, but yeah. One of the things you were saying is that the sculpture here is not about just the sculpture; it's about the sculpture in the landscape.
That's it.
So I think we could almost say this is the biggest sculpture you've done because it's the size of this arena. I mean, just look. This is an absolutely beautiful spot. This is where the boat is going to be sailing.
Man, you can see what he did there.
Anyway, we need to get to work. You guys need to have a fabulous day today. Look forward to speaking to you later to show you what we've got done. So bye-bye for now. Hello and welcome back to the end of day 3. And yes, I had a boo-boo.
Just a little bit of boo-boo. If you want to turn people around to the snow sculpture behind us. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, it's pretty flat light at the moment.
Yeah, so viewers may remember that there was something on the top of the snow sculpture this morning. And what did I say? I just said, whatever you do, don't knock the top of the sculpture off. And what did he do? He knocked the top of the sculpture off.
These things happen. So
well, yeah, the snaps are on you tonight.
Yeah, snaps will be on me, definitely. So yeah, we've kind of have make some repairs tomorrow, but the progress has been really good. We've kind of cracked on. We've got some really good changes made to the boat, and it's actually starting to feel a lot more like a boat. Let me just quickly whiz the camera around and get you back just in the shot, and you can take you on a tour of the boat as it is today.
So we've got spare masts, Martin, and bearing in mind that you're working here, I've made 2 spare blocks for tomorrow, just in case one breaks.
Geeky.
So put the mast is in now, and the front edge of the boat, leading edge, and the back edge is just going in. If might tidy that lot up. You probably can't see from here, but a load of spade mats in that sail, and they're going to need to be scraped and sanded out, make it look good. We keep talking about putting detail on it. I could put my boat number on it, DD19, but you know what? The whole idea of this is it's the most simple boat sculpture ever. It's going to have nothing on it. So all we want it to do is look like a boat and grace these slopes. And we've got a bit of it actually looks like part of the deep up there. And those cuts are going to continue under, and we'll probably get them something like a leaning Eiffel Tower, something like that. And it did look really good. I was really impressed with it. It did look fab.
It does.
Didn't it, Martin?
It did, and it will do again. I have absolute faith in it. Faith in you. But let's just give people a bit of an idea about what the kind of feeling in the shape is. So if I walk over towards the actual piece itself, and what you'll hopefully start to see is the idea of how we're going to get it so people will be able to just see this as a sailboat going through the actual mountain. So as Justin's been working with as Justin's been working with the piece backers, we've been getting them to reduce the snow piled down at the side so we can get this horizon line so it goes across like this, and you'll find it'll be nice and snow. Now, I've got a feeling, Justin, you've been talking at the same time as me.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one for everyone to listen to. Speaking of interesting things, we also found out something new, didn't we?
What's that?
So, you guys may have heard of a power bank, right? Yeah. So a power bank is you connect to your phone, you get extra power. So for the piece, they usually only have 3 major snowfalls each year that are part of the season. So they need to store the snow somewhere, and that's what this is here. This whole area you can see is a snow bank effectively, and as the snow changes over the season, the piece bashers will come along, they'll take some of this snow away and they use it on the piece. And you can see just down there in the distance, there's kind of like 4 red poles surrounding another wooden pole. That wooden pole actually has a marker on it showing you the depth of the actual snowbank that they've got there. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Oh god!
I think we get the reflection from them.
That's a cool idea. I never thought of that one. Right, let's just whiz this camera back around. And so, the other thing that we thought we'd just mention is a little bit about health and fitness while we're here. He's a fitness and lifestyle coach. And one of the things that we've been doing is been tracking what we've been doing. So, yeah, there's a lovely lady called Dr. Alka Patel. She does a lot of work around understanding your biometrics effectively, what's your body actually doing at every point in time. So from one of the things she says get an Oura ring. So I've had this for a few months now, and it's great. It kind of gives me an idea of what's going on and lets me know effectively I know how I feel. It kind of reinforces, whether I want to be slowing down, speeding up, etc. Now, one thing we've noticed here, it was a question of how many
spade strikes are we actually putting in a day.
Yeah, so how many spade strikes? So we found out that the pedometer piece of this actually measures spade strikes as well. So this is great. The thing is, we now know we're doing about between 21 and 25,000 spade strikes a day.
Yeah.
So that's a hell of a lot of movement we've got to be able to move this thing. And what's that equate to? So again, the thing tracks activity. So the activity or exercise related activity, if you want the real scientific piece, means we're burning around about 2,100 to 2,500 calories. Plus the fact we've got probably more being burnt from our basal metabolic state because we're higher in the atmosphere, the oxygen's thinner, our body's already in a stressful state anyway. So from a point of view of being healthy and fit, we do need to be quite healthy and fit to do this. And we have had on previous years, some of the snow sculptors have actually been carried away by helicopter because they had problems. Now, thankfully, that hasn't happened for years, and hopefully will not happen again.
Fingers.
In his mittens, love it. Everyone can see that one. Right, is there anything else we said we want to talk to people about?
Well, we reckon that we reckon my shovel has done, if it's done 20 to 25,000 strikes a day, so let's say some days we do more, a few days we do less, I reckon it's done 100,000 a week. We've done 10, 15 sculptures.
Oh, easily.
So, and the guy who owned it before, who gave it to me, I've had that shovel for 23 years. So he'd had it making sculpture in Quebec for maybe 10 or 15 years, who knows? So we suspect that shovel's made somewhere between 2 or 3 million snow sculpting strikes, which is quite a lot. Yeah, it's quite impressive.
So know your numbers, guys. Statistics are important.
If you get up on that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Speaking of getting up, I think it's about time we go. It's starting to get a little bit colder here. We're going to have an earlier day. We're going to go and relax. We've kind of really got achy muscles now. Yeah. Really blasted way through. So we're going to go down to the spa.
this big spa complex thermo thing down in town. There's an outdoor heated swimming pool with a bar in it. Might have to visit that.
We'll see. That'll be a yes. And yeah, we're going to try and relax a little bit, get ourselves ready for this evening. We've got another meal with a Tyrolean tourist board, which will be great. We've then got one of the chiefs. He's invited around to his hotel, so we're going around there later on this evening. But hopefully get back, have an early night, and tomorrow we've got kind of real detailed kind of work going in. Then really, you'll really see the boat absolutely just pull itself together.
If I think about it, that mast height, I reckon 3 pints would do the repair job, mate.
And on that bombshell, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.